My name is Camille Hall. I am a BA Theatre Studies student on the third year. I originally started UEL on the Community Arts Practice course about 2001, and I've come back 7 years, or a lot of years later, to finish just 1 year. 7 years ago I did not know about site specific. At the beginning of September I didn't know about site specific. I have now taken on the site specific module, and I think it was really beneficial to experience site specific module and the practices that it offers you, and also the opportunities to do different type of work to what people who usually tend to take the theatre studies programme are used to. It's not about being on stage and performing, but at the same time it gives you different aspects and different job prospects and different job opportunities in order to be able to create stuff when you come out of uni. The high possibility that we're going to be actors, all of us are going to be actors or performers on stage, is very slim because the market is very tight out there. So it's good, even if you are still pursuing to be the actor and the performer, it's nice to do something different because you get to experience a different building. Today, or for this module, we've been at Hoxton Hall. I've been able to experience a different area of London, a different area of East London, a different area of the community. I've made links with Hoxton Hall and the staff that work here. I've got a bit of history about the actual building itself and the community that it sits in. And it's also given me the experience to now go and make site specific once I've left university. I still have the skills necessary to be a performer, but I also now have the opportunity to do something else and to broaden my job prospects rather than to focus it specifically on performing. So I do recommend that people take the site specific module, one, to experience and to give out another experience, because as a performer on stage it's a completely different experience for the audience member. When you're doing a site-specific performance, you're not necessarily on the stage and performing to them, whereas you're including them in the performance to experience something for themselves and for them to leave with their own experience rather than one that we've forced or channeled to them. So it's really good, and I think that you should at least come to one class or maybe a taster class to see what it's about and then make your decision. It's not all about solo performance. Okay, the project that I did at Hoxton Hall was based on an air raid shelter. In 1940s or 1943, during the World War II, the Blitz, Hoxton Hall was documented somewhere to be used as an air raid shelter. Although the research for that was very slim, in the archives, even here at Hoxton Hall, there's very little to do with the documentation of it being an air raid shelter, but I enjoyed that fact and I ran with it. What I decided to do was to look up testimonies from people who were in air raid shelters at that time, found out what their experiences were, and to basically recreate the experience of what it may be like, because I wasn't there myself, but what it may have been like to be in an air raid shelter, to feel safe, to feel, and also the connection to the building. So one, the air raid shelter was the connection to Hoxton Hall. So in terms of it being site specific, here was used as an air raid shelter at one stage. Also, the area that I've decided to use is not very far from the original building of where the air raid shelter should have been, which is just through where there is now an art room and a music room. So, in terms of being site-specific, I've actually catered and tailored my performance for the space, which isn't very big. And that's another thing. You don't need to have a massive stage or a massive space in order to create something that's original and something that's going to give an experience to an audience that they're going to actually appreciate. So I used basically mainly audio in order to put across or to create my experience. 2 benches, a lantern, and obviously I've got the uniform, and I had one of these hats, and that is my that was my contribution to the piece. So it's not about always performing. Sometimes it's about allowing someone else to experience it for themselves rather than us direct it to them. So it was a really good experience, and give it a chance before you knock it. If you don't know about it, you need to find Claire Qualman and ask her about site specific. Thank you.